Hey, what's up? This is Laidback Luke, DJ and producer, Kung Fu athlete, and dedicated dad. So many comments on the mic vlog last week. It was incredible to read and to see what you think about it. Shout out to Hardwell for watching my vlogs and being in the number 2 spot of the comments of last week. DJ Suspective that keeps on asking what I think of hardstyle. Well, I do love watching Headhunters vlogs, and a part of the early Gabber days that developed in like the 90s in the Netherlands. I don't have much knowledge of hardstyle. I like a couple of tracks, but I never play it, I never get to play it, and I never dove into it. In this vlog I'm going to tell you more about the genres right here. We're going to dive straight into it. We're out here at Schiphol Airport. It's an easy travel this week. The autumn has started here in the Netherlands. I'm not thrilled. What I am thrilled about in this vlog is 3 things. Number 1, I'm shooting all of this with a GoPro 6. Number 2 is I'm going to Manchester for Don't Let Daddy Know. Always amazing parties. And number 3, I finally get to explain to you the differences between the various genres of dance music. Let's go to Manchester now. Just arrived in Manchester. The weather isn't much better over here, but usually the weather in the UK is very wet. I do realize. Just finished a training session with Jordan as well, who's doing really well with his Kung Fu. He's going to be testing for the yellow sash pretty soon, and I'm very excited about it. But now we're here. We're finally going to talk genres. So I'll first talk to you about the housey type of genres we have. So in this vlog I'm going to mainly focus on the genres that are relevant to my DJ sets as well. So I'm going to talk to you about bass house, future house, house, and then you have like G house or ghetto house, and then you have deep house, and we can even go into techno. Bass house, a relatively new type of genre. In the housey realm, usually like 126. One of the biggest bass house tracks you know might be this. So with signature right here is about 126 BPM. There's like a dubstep type of bass lines in there and very housey beats. Build-ups and breakdowns are a little bit similar to EDM, but the main signature is those growling big bass lines and the housey flavor in there. Future house. One of the biggest tracks that you can call future house might be this. And obviously kind of well spread because of guys like Oliver Heldens and Chami taking this housey type of sound back and putting their own signature vibe to it. So again here as well, it's very housey beats, but the bass lines aren't as dubstep orientated. You can add more melody in there as well. It can be R&B orientated even. And the BPM is quite similar to bass house as well. Now I have a folder in my engine software that I call house, and it's more of like a collection of anything that doesn't sound either bass house or future house, but it could be something like this. Or it could be something like this. So technically anything that's a little bit lower energy than the big room sound, but anything that keeps it in between a 126 to a 128, and that could be a little bit deeper, but flirting with big room house as well. So within the house folder I have 2 separate folders as well. This could be G house, which is something like this. Usually they use hip-hop vocals in the breaks, and then when they drop it, they don't drop it into an aggressive bass line, they drop it into like a deep bass line. Usually not very much synthy layered, still like dance floor driven, but quite deep. But not as deep as deep house, and that sounds something like this.
That's what you're coming for, but they don't wanna let you in, and you drop your back to the floor and you're asking what's happening.
Anything that comes out on Defected, so very popular in the deeper genres of house right now, is like a rappy type of vocal, but not like a G rap type of vocal. Just something repetitive. And then when it drops not into something deep, but it drops into something funky. And then we still have techno. I will tell you more after my show. Here we go. Don't let daddy know. What an amazing crowd this is. This is a crowd that I've been playing for years and years and years, and I know exactly what they want, and I'm super happy I got the years and years of support around here. But what they don't like over here is dubstep. Dubstep, trap, future bass, neither. And so there's minimal differences between these three. Dubstep technically is about 140 BPM, and it sounds a little bit like this. So typically it has these harsh, low-end type of synths. They're almost the growling type of synths in there. And so trap, which technically came after dubstep, sounds a little bit like this. So this is usually faster than dubstep, normally about 150 BPM. But on the low end they use the 808 kick drum, which is the really low-end type of clean boom. And on top there's always these festival-y type of squeaky lead synths that they got from technically Big Room and Dutch House. And now we have future bass as well. Future bass could vary from around 140 to 150, but even very low BPM as well, and sounds a little bit like this. So it's a little bit more synthy and stabbier, more melodic, more vocals, less of like a rough type of drop. I only have about 2 hours until I leave to the airport. I'm gonna have like a little half-hour nap, pack up, and then at the airport I'll tell you one of the biggest questions I've had to explain what exactly progressive house is. But I'll touch on Dutch house as well and jungle terror and tell you the exact difference. And so what do I think about the GoPro 6? I think the stabilization is awesome, very easy to work on, and I'm just very curious because I haven't seen the club footage yet, how it'll do in the dark, and this will be essential. And so what I particularly love about it is that it's so small and you can literally vlog out of your pocket. But I'm very curious to hear what you think. Am I able to vlog with this from now on? Please leave it in the comments and I'll have a look. So a few more genres left before I close this vlog. So we have Dutch House. What exactly is Dutch House? Well, it sounds a little bit like this. So specifically, the drum programming should always be kind of like rhythmical, kind of like tropical beats. The BPM is about 128 or could even be 130. And there's always these squeaky or ravey sounds into it. This ties a little bit into Big Room House, which is typically the EDM sound, and it sounds a little something like this. So this kind of flirts with the Dutch sound. The drum programming can be quite tropical as well, but usually there's these big breaks with chords and epic leads and chunky sounds. And so sometimes the Big Room sound and the EDM sound and the progressive sound get get mixed up. So when I say progressive, I don't mean like the progressive you know from John Dickweed or Sasha. That's a different type of progressive. That was like 20 years ago. What I mean is more like this. So it's more of like that Swedish sound, Eric Prydz, but Swedish House Mafia, but even Avicii and even Zed with Clarity could be technically progressive house. So what you hear is a lot of repetitive sound, like a flowy type of build, not really like hard drops. And if it drops hard, it's not like just one lead sound. It's like a more of kind of like a hypnotic sound in the 128 BPM realm. So right now I'm gonna take 3 flights out to America, and I'll catch you on the flip side. One last thing about the GoPro. So as you can see, I dove into the ISO settings. Apparently I had a bunch of settings wrong shooting this vlog. So I promise you, next week will look even better. And now I'm curious, what type of genre is your favorite genre? Make sure to leave it down in the comments. But I do realize I forgot to talk about techno, and I forgot to talk about jungle terror. Well, jungle terror first. It sounds a little bit like this. So this is basically the brother or sister or pet animal sound of the Dutch house variant. So the beats can be very tribal, but usually the leads in the track, instead of squeaky leads, could be animal sounds, a lot of drum programming, but still with that Dutchy feel. Techno, that's something else. I could make like a whole vlog of all the genres that are in techno. Detroit techno, Berlin techno, abstract techno, deep techno. Basically the stuff I play sounds a little bit like this. Oh, and I forgot industrial techno as well. There's so many genres out right now, I can't like even grasp the genres I didn't mention in this vlog. What you need to realize is that when I started like in the beginning of the 90s, everything was house music. Trance, breakbeat, rave music, techno, everything was called house music. And I guess nowadays you call it electronic dance music. And because of that start in the early 90s, I still consider all the genres one genre, really. If you like what you saw, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Next week, I'm going to take you back into the fitness realm. I am currently on 8% body fat without necessarily dietary restrictions. I'm going to be talking about eating on the go, as I know a lot of you slack on that, and I want to give you a little bit of tips. So make sure to subscribe on my channel, and I'll catch you back here next week. Until then, L's up, rave safely, and salute.